I'm Boots Burns, and I'm an old broad. And I'm coming back with you today to talk about some of the comments from my first episode of Just Ask This Old Broad. I introduced the subject of who do women dress for nowadays? And is there a difference between who the women dress for in the younger generation and who women dress for in the older generation? Thank you for the comments. I had two. Not bad for starting out. And I appreciate them both very much. One of the comments said that when she was in the younger generation, she believes that she dressed for all three to attract a love interest, to impress other women or bosses, etc., or to dress for themselves and to make themselves feel good or confident. And she believed that when she was in the younger generation, she dressed at certain times for all three of the categories. And after reading about that and thinking about it, I thought to myself, she has a good point, and I think it was the same for me as well. When I was in the younger generation, I would go out socializing. I would definitely dress to impress or attract a love interest. I definitely dressed differently when I went to work when I was younger because I want to impress my supervisors and managers, etc. And I also dressed for myself because when I did do things that enhanced my natural looks and made them prettier, it made me feel prettier and more confident and self-assured. The comment made by Donna about dressing differently in the older generation is also true for me. She had said that she just basically dresses for herself and for comfort and just what she feels good in. And I think I do that too. I had said that my younger son, Bay, had asked me to quit wearing so much makeup because I didn't need it. And so I did stop. I still can't get rid of the lipsticks though. Love the lipstick. It seems to give my face a little color because as you do age, it seems like you lose color in your face when your eyelashes fade, your eyebrows fade, and even the lip color that you have fades. So I do still wear the lipstick. But I do dress up sometimes, and it makes it more effective for special occasions. And Donna said the same thing as well. She had gotten dressed up, full makeup and all that stuff to go to an event. And everybody complimented her and thought she looked wonderful, and I'm sure she did, and she probably felt wonderful. And I think I still do that too, because it's almost like, I don't know, decorating your house for a special occasion. Your house always looks nice, but when you decorate it for Christmas or Easter or Thanksgiving, and you decorate it up for New Year's, whatever, it always looks more special, and it's like more of an event, something to remember. And so when I go out socializing to certain special events, I too, like Donna, will put on makeup, the whole 9 yards, try to find a really nice looking outfit, and dressing myself up for the special occasion. And it makes it seem more special when I do that. And I know my husband appreciates it too. He always says, "Oh, you look so nice." And if I dressed like that every single day, instead of really not wearing anything special during the day, but if I dressed up like that every single day, it wouldn't make it so special for the special occasion, because it would just be kind of like, oh, that's just every day. So I don't know. I didn't have any younger generation comments, and I guess I will have to assume that the younger generation do as we did when we were the younger generation, and we dress for different occasions for different reasons. I did read in that article that it said, and I thought this was interesting, that the higher percentage of women preferred getting compliments when they were dressed up from other women. And they thought that those compliments were more important. So I did think that that was interesting. I don't know how I feel about it, but I always like it when somebody says that I look nice, especially when men do, because they don't seem to notice as much as women. You know, women will notice the minute you have your hair colored or that you're wearing a new outfit. They'll notice it. Oh, you got a new outfit, you know. Oh, I like your hair. I like that color, whatever. Men don't do that. So I don't even know if men care how women dress, to tell you the truth. But something attention grabbing, I'm sure men like, because it gets their attention, obviously. So I guess I will have to conclude that the younger generation probably still do dress for all three, and the older generation probably just mainly dress for themselves, how they feel comfortable, how they want to feel decorated up and special for a special occasion or an event. And that's probably who women dress for. Unless I'm missing something, I think that that pretty much is the conclusion and the covering of this. Now, it was also mentioned in a couple of the comments I had mentioned about being tactful if somebody wanted to leave a comment that was in a critical manner or trying to be helpful, but just to be tactful. And there was a little discussion of what does tactful mean. And I guess I always took it as to meaning you have a good sense of, in an awkward or critical situation, you have the good sense to not embarrass or humiliate or put somebody in a position of embarrassment when you address the situation, whatever it might be. I can give you a good example. There was a group of us coworkers out for dinner. We were celebrating a special occasion. And the wife of my boss had gone to the bathroom and came back to the table, and she had a little piece of tissue hanging from her nose. She must have blew her nose or something, and it just got stuck there. And probably didn't see it in the light of the bathroom, but when back out in the dining room with lots of windows and stuff, it was really quite apparent. And one of my coworkers, who I would say had no tact whatsoever, yells across the table, "Mary, you got something hanging from your nose. Go check it. Go wipe your nose off." And, you know, of course, I'm sure that brought her some embarrassment, and everybody looked. Whereas everybody might not have noticed if she would have just got up and walked over to her chair and quietly bent down by her ear and said, "Go back to the bathroom and check the mirror. Check the mirror. See what you see in the mirror." And it would have been quiet. She wouldn't have been so humiliated. She would have went back to the bathroom and then seen the piece of tissue. Or even if you bent down and say, "You got a piece of tissue hanging from your nose." Something like that, where nobody else might have mattered or noticed. And she could have taken care of it without maybe anybody else noticing it. I'll tell you, I didn't notice it until my coworker yelled across the table at her, and then I looked up and saw it, and of course everybody did. So that's my sense of being tactful in an awkward situation or in a potentially humiliating or embarrassing situation for somebody else, not to hurt their feelings, but to try to have a sense of how to respond, what to say, that lets them know what's going on, but doesn't I guess offend them or, you know, put them in a bad situation. That's my take on being tactful. I don't know what everybody else feels like, but that's what I have to say. But thank you for those comments and asking about it. Now, for the next episode of Just Ask This Old Broad, I would love to discuss the situation of pajamas. Let me tell you, I see pajamas everywhere, and I would like to know, when is it right, when is it okay, where is it okay to wear pajamas in public? I think the younger generation may have a different take on this than the older generation. Although I do confess, I do occasionally, if I'm running somebody downtown to get something, or if I want to go through a drive-through in the morning to get some breakfast for the family, I will go driving in my car in my pajamas. And I don't think anybody can see. Maybe the people at the drive-through can see I'm still in my pajamas, but I do that. And occasionally in the mornings, especially in the summer, I will go in my yard in my pajamas to just have coffee outside and maybe pick at the flowers and weed them a little and water them. And I am outside and anybody can drive by and see me. It's public. But I don't know if I could wear my pajamas to a restaurant or to go grocery shopping or to go to a big box store or to go to a tavern or a nightclub. I just couldn't do it. But perhaps people can explain why they do, or if they've heard people talk about doing it, or if they've noticed people doing it. And I think that would be a good discussion if we could get some of the younger generation in here to give their opinions on that, because it seems like to me that more of the younger generation are doing that more often. And perhaps it's just me, because I'm getting old, that I think that. But let me hear from other old gens and see if they have noticed that too or have any feeling on that. I think that would be a great topic to discuss. And before I sign off today, I want to say thank you to Anne's Tiny Life. I subscribe to that YouTube channel, and Anne is a great person, and she has inspired me to try to do something like this at my age. And I appreciate it very much. I know I'm starting off pretty rough, and I'm not very good at doing the video editing or anything like that, but I hopefully will improve as I learn. And I just want to send her a great deal of thanks for that. It really was great for me to have her support and her knowledge, her advice, and I appreciate it. I guess that's about it for today. And again, I will post on Saturday, and we'll take comments and discussions about the pajama epidemic in public and see what everybody has to think about that, or even if it is something that they've noticed. Maybe it's no big thing to them, but it just caught my eye several times. So I thought, let's talk about this. When is it okay to wear your pajamas, and where, Societal norms change all the time, so maybe this is a changing thing, I don't know, but I just thought it might be interesting. So, this is Boots Burns. You could just ask this old broad anything, and we'll see you next Saturday.